Kenny Schrader Racing, Federated Auto Parts, can only mean one thing. There's only one reason to invite me down to Schrader's Racing Shop. He's seen me drive. He wants me behind the wheel of one of his bad race cars. So let's climb to this guy, see how it fits up. I'll tell you, I'll be signing a lucrative deal right here in a minute, and you guys are gonna see it live on Two Guys Garage. Schrader's Race Shop. I'm feeling this. This is definitely my time. Behind the wheel of a real Kenny Schrader race car. What's up, Kenny?
I heard you were in town. I'm glad you made it over as quick as you did.
Dude, I'm so glad to just come down here and see your shop.
Does it fit you? Does it feel comfortable?
Well, I don't know if it was built for a guy that's 6'2" and 225.
Maybe not. It was built for me in '82, so it's probably not your size.
Yeah, well, let me climb out of this. You can show me a couple of the other cars. And then the big news I'm sure we want to break to everybody is me joining the race team.
Well, yeah, we definitely have a position for you on the team, for sure.
Oh, told you.
I think you'll excel at it.
Yeah, can't wait. All right, what do you got in here, man? Show me this car.
Well, this is a USAC midget that I drove for L. Gene Hamilton from Illinois. Don Edmonds built it. Cosworth Vega, only a couple of them. They built half a dozen of them in the middle 50s.
Okay.
And then this is the only one he built in later years.
What else you got here? This guy right here, this old school.
Oh, this is also Mr. Hamilton's.
Okay.
It is a Curtis Craft Offenhauser. This was the primo car to have in the mid-50s. It was an assembly line. Curtis Craft built these cars, right. Offenhauser engines, a miniature Offenhauser, just like the engines that won Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Pretty brave. Just that little roll cage, or that little roll bar, no cage or anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, what about the other cars? What about the ones?
You want to see the one I've got for you?
Yes.
Let's go.
You're gonna start me out in an ARCA car? Come on.
I can't decide. We've got the ARCA cars,
yeah.
We got some K&N cars, we got some Camping World trucks back there.
I'm good with any of them, man. You know me, I can drive.
Well,
some nostalgic stuff here?
We've got some nostalgia stuff. Nice little 56 Chevy Shark Track car.
One. Now, man, you had some good times in the Red Baron car.
We had some real good times in that. Ran 7th a couple times at Daytona in that thing in '87. Turned it over there once, still finished 7th. And our Skoal cars were real good to us.
Yeah.
But
some nostalgic trucks. I see the old 49 Chevy, the Wrecker.
49 cool. Chevys, it's pretty cool. The Wrecker, my daddy built that in about 1960. I've got a lot of fond memories of riding shotgun in that thing. I'd stand up on the floor and just barely see out the windshield. But I found that years ago. The guys in the shop redid it, and they did a good job. And we had a lot of fun with that.
All right, and then you have the old Chevy.
Well,
what's this thing?
It's a nice little 5-window 49 Chevrolet.
Yeah, the 5-window is hard to find.
Hard to find. Federated has been such a good partner.
Yeah.
And it just needs a good once-over. And I thought after you did the once-over on this and upgraded it a little bit and drove it for a little bit, then when you come back, then we can talk about potentially putting you in some of the other cars. After you get this one done, then we'll come back and we'll probably put you in the K&N car and then the ARCA car. And like you'll be in the truck by October, I'm sure.
Be in the truck by October. That's a good mission. It's like 130.
It won't start?
No. And I know you pushed the foot thing and it's dead.
Okay. Well, that'll be a good starting point for you.
So you want me to start with this?
Start this truck.
All right.
What about, can you just take it back down to your shop?
I'll tell you what, I'll take it back down there. We'll do a quick one-over on it. Make sure everything's finished, rolling, and good mechanical for you.
That's what I was counting on, partner.
And then we'll talk about
Then we'll put you in the other cars after you get this one done.
Okay. I gotta hurry up and get this done.
Yes, sir. Hurry.
All right. Let me get a battery here.
Okay.
I know some guys at Federated. They can hook you up.
They'll get us a deal?
Yeah.
I was hoping so.
Man, Kenny, must be nice to have such good partnership with Federated that the East Penn Federated 6-volt battery's just off in the shop somewhere.
Well, we knew that we were going to do some work, or that you were going to do some work on this truck, so we tried to line up some of the best products we could, and
man.
we got an East Penn federated battery to be ready for this truck.
Yeah, brand new. Now, you know, on some of the old 6-volt batteries in 1949, they had those cell-to-cell connections up here. This is just aesthetic stuff. It doesn't do anything. It's a maintenance-free battery, so you don't have to worry about it when it's in there.
Maintenance-free, but looks just like it's like the ones that came out.
Exactly. So we'll just drop this guy right in here, and you'll never have to worry about this battery again.
Looking good.
Thanks, buddy.
South.
I'm headed that way.
No problem. He'll make it.
What up?
Hey, watch out, man. Coming through.
How you doing, man?
Good.
Let me tell you, 1,131 miles at 64 miles an hour, bro.
Oh, nice. How's that seat feeling?
Oh, it's a bumpy ride, let me tell you. 90
Cool
horsepower.
truck, man. What was that, 49?
49, bro.
Sweet. I've been looking forward to seeing it in person.
Yeah.
This is in great shape, man. I like it. Can I get the door?
Yeah, other than what I just did to it, it's in great shape.
Yeah, I can see the mess. All right, roll it in, brother.
All right. Bro, I'm beat.
Dude, that was a long trip. I was gonna see if you wanted to get something to eat, but...
No, man, I'm good there. I will tell you this. I picked this truck up, and Kenny was like, just do a one-over on it for me. 10 seconds later, I'm putting a battery in it. But it did make it a long ways. It's just, bro, it's a rough
Dude, I know
ride.
what Kenny's once-over is. Hey, guys, can you fix this? Oh, yeah, and this. Oh, I forgot about that other thing, man. It's always this and this and this.
Well, it's a good thing. We got badging, we got friends. It's all about federated, man, in this truck. So let's throw some new parts. Let's give it a one-over. Let's check it out.
All right, you know what we could do, too, is we got old school. We got the new truck outside, so maybe we can do a little walk in technology as we work on this.
Hey, I'm down. Let's cover the lumbar section, all right?
Get up in the air.
You know, getting under these old vehicles is a lot of fun, you know, especially one that's as clean as this one. You can see the original designs from 70, 80 years ago, and you can see where they've carried into modern stuff kind of seamlessly in some cases, but in other cases, drastic changes. I mean, if we look at this, we've got an I-beam front end here, and you know, those have been carried over with leaf springs and kind of standard shocks. You still have modern trucks, like big heavy-duty trucks with similar designs, although there's a lot of detail changes. Now, when you're under an old car like this, get yourself a flashlight and really go through and inspect, especially all the joints. You want to pry on things, look for things that are worn, that are loose, especially like these tie rods. This is a toe link here connecting both sides. And you can see that we've got exposed areas there where we can get dirt and debris and wear them out. Now, opposed to the old school stuff, I mean, obviously we've got better seals, but internally we've got higher strength steels, better precision, so things last a lot longer. We even have rubber isolation. So this is off of our new truck, so it shows you the difference. We've got a double A-arm in the new one, beam axle in the old one. Now, we'll work our way down, make a list, look for little stuff that we need to order, and Willie's covering the back end of this thing.
A big jump, big comfort is where this shock has evolved. Now understand, this shock looks the same as what you would see in a shock today. Maybe not these little, you know, cylinder ribs in it, but the shock itself, black, it's tubed. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, there's some real big advances in the technology for shocks. If you think about the early shocks, they used to put leather pieces together, sandwiched between bronze, you know, and oiled leather, and they clamp them together, and that friction was what would slow down the oscillations from a spring. So a spring is pretty much a spring, but the control is where the shock plays in. Well, the modern twin tube, and you can see this cartridge here, there's actually a tube inside of a tube. Now, they both contain fluid, so I'll show you this clear cutaway, which is kind of neat. So again, we've still got the tube inside the tube, and this piston's running on the inside one. Now, you're trying to keep the excess air. In this case, we went to nitrogen to minimize the aeration. So you're trying to keep all the nitrogen on this outside so it doesn't affect so much what's going on with these valves. Now, if I move this back and forth, right, I can see this piston down here, and there's a whole series of stacked plates acting like valves, so I can do some high speed, some low speed, high impact type of control. And when I go upwards, this is controlling most of the rebound, and when I go downwards, the valving in here is controlling most of the compression. So again, there's a lot of technology just in trying to keep those air bubbles separated, kind of like bleeding your brakes. And again, there's another layer of technology on top of the shocks electronic stability control. So you really want your shock to be stable and do a specific job, so then stability control could come on top and make sure you're nice and safe in sort of emergency situations. So kind of neat progression from the old school to the new school. I'm going to go to order a couple parts here. We've got a few suspension parts that are worn out, ball joints, the toe link. So we're going to order a couple of Moog parts, get the shocks on, keep on rolling.
All right, guys, here's a product you're not gonna believe from Workshop Hero. It's the Metal Rescue Rust Remover Bath. Now check this out. Can you imagine sandblasting all these little nooks and crannies and nuts and bolts, gears and whatever? Not with this stuff. You just drop it in a Tupperware bowl or a bucket and let it soak, walk away and do your thing. It's just that easy. Literally, it's safe on everything except for rust. Plastic, wires, gauges, whatever. You drop it, walk away, let it soak, and it kills the rust. And then after you're done soaking it, you hit it with a dry coat, and it's good to store indoors up to a year. It's great stuff from Workshop Hero, the Metal Rescue Rust Remover Bath and Dry Coat. Okay, from CRC Industries, this is an intake valve cleaner designed for direct injection motors. Now what happens in direct injection motors is the air and the fuel actually come in downstream of the valve, but because of the PCV system, you always have this oil vapor hitting that hot valve and coking, sticking to it. And because of this groundbreaking technology, you actually can spray this cleaner right by the MAF sensor, and it hits that valve at 150 times the concentration of something you would add in your fuel. So check it out from CRC Industries, their intake valve cleaner for direct injection motors.
If you've got a Jeep Wrangler TJ from 2000 to 2006, well, you, my friend, need an extra 100 foot-pounds and 115 horsepower. And you can do it with a kit like this from Magnum Powers, complete with supercharger, the MP90, fuel system upgrades, your controller, all your intercooler for 7 to 18 PSI of boost. And what's cool is that they've got a crank pulley. It mounts right on the crank to drive this system. So if you want to do an upgrade in the future, say 300 horsepower to the wheels, you can change just this pulley without affecting any of that system. So check them out, Magnum Powers Supercharger Kit. What I like about ARP is you get a performance premium fastener, but they also look good. You can dress up any application from your intakes to your carb setups, but they've got great engineering features as well. Now check out the ball nose carb stud kit. Now a lot of guys will just run a bolt, so they'll run it down in here to soft aluminum. Well, if you remove a carburetor a couple times and you're cranking that thing down, you'll end up ruining the threads, sometimes cracking the boss. But if you use a stud in a soft material, you can hand thread the bottom end in, and then you can put all the cranking on the nut on the top side. So the ball end helps the carburetor sit fast, the nut go on easy. You can get them in 8740 chromoly with the black oxide, or you can get them in the polished stainless steel. So check out ARP for all your premium quality fasteners for any application.
All right, under 1949 Chevy pickup truck, but most people would consider themselves lucky to have a black and white TV in their living room. A lot of things have changed. Just looking at this plug, we found one from a Model T, big husky guy. And here's one that we're actually going to replace in our truck today. And this is the kind of plug you're going to see in a lot of rides, like that 2014 GMC out front. Now, the spark energy that these things produce, much more with this little guy than it was with the earlier generations. And a lot of things you're going to see, like this fuel system. Look at the delivery system and how they cleaned it back in the day. For example, air filter. This used to be horsehair. Now it's some fiber in here. Obviously that's evolved a little bit. And then you reveal the one barrel right here. Now this is a low pressure system, okay? It's a carburetor. It's gonna have fuel in here. High velocity air is gonna come through here, pull it down in that plenum and atomize it and then burn it up. And this is a high pressure system, fuel injector. And then we evolved to this guy today, right?
Yeah, this is pretty cool. So this is, you know, TechSmart's replacement part for the truck out in the parking lot. It's an electronic throttle body. So there's no cable to it. But when you push the pedal, you're not actually controlling this directly. But what's neat about it is because the computer's smart, it can do a lot of additional things. So let's look at idle air bypass, right? So even throttle bodies with a cable on them used to have an idle air bypass. So let's say you start an engine cold. You know, once it gets hot, the idle starts to climb, and then it's harder to get into gear and things like that. Well, what about when you start the AC? You put a load on the engine and the idle drops. Well, the throttle and the computer can control the opening and keep all that stuff steady. It can find the right fuel economy point for when you're cruising. And, you know, it can even do things like close the throttle to reduce torque when you're going to do a shift. So it makes a smoother shift. It makes the transmission last longer. It's more durable. So there's a lot of really cool functionality in the simplest thing like a throttle body. So interesting that you still are controlling the air with a throttle body, but we're doing it in such interesting and unique ways.
But look, 90 horsepower, 300 and change here.
Yeah,
Big difference, man.
Let's get these spark plugs in. I know we got some belts. We're going to dress the inside of this engine compartment, but we're also going to dress up some of the outside of the truck too.
To restore power and performance to your vehicle and help with fuel economy, treat your engine with the 3M Fuel System Tune-Up Kit. The 3-part chemical kit includes everything you need to clean the fuel system in less than 30 minutes. The 3M Intake System Cleaner includes an integrated cleaner hose that you can pinch between the throttle body and air intake boot to hold it in place. Start the engine and increase idle by 500 to 1,000 RPMs to circulate the cleaner. Dispense the entire can, which will take about 10 minutes. Because this system is the same chemical treatment as what the professionals use, you can save money by doing it yourself. Next, spray the 3M throttle plate and carb cleaner to remove the remaining contamination and lubricate the throttle body. You can reinstall the intake boot. As the final step, add the 3M Complete Fuel System Cleaner to a full tank of gas. You can repeat this process every 10,000 miles or once a year. This tip is brought to you by 3M Auto. Smarter technology through science.
Now, if you look at any older vehicle, you'll see that sort of standard round, sealed beam style headlight. The bulb is sealed inside, so when it burns out, you're replacing the whole thing. But now we've got replaceable bulb technology, which is great because you can have better designs on the vehicle, different shapes, but you also have new technologies in the bulbs that let them last longer, they're brighter, and they use less power. But you can also get different looks and different amounts of light capability. So if you look at the TrueView Plus from Wagner, these are going to give you that HID, that pure bright white look. So it's a really cool way to sort of make your car look a little bit more modern, more expensive. Now, if you want to step up your brightness in the bulb, you can go with the night defense system. It's going to be about 40% brighter. It's a tri-coat, so a 3-color layer that they put on the bulb itself. So the top's a little yellow, so it doesn't blind the oncoming traffic, but it gives you that big projection so you can see those street signs in the dark. Now, if you really want to move all the way to the top of the game, check out the bright light system. Now, this is a Xenon bulb. This is going to give you about 120 feet farther distance that you're going to be able to see over the old halogens. So no matter what kind of vehicle you have, you got a lot of options. Check out your Federated Auto Parts technician. They can help you pick the right bulb for your car.
Hey, welcome back to TwoGuysGarage. Still on our 49 truck, but now we're getting to the fun part. Now we're gonna dress it up and make it pretty.
How's this thing going? About ready to drop this on your head or what?
About time you got here, bro. I'm telling you.
All right, now we got a nice looking grill here, but you know what? This truck has a lot of brown on it.
Hey, man.
Now, this thing needs a little bit of pop. It's gonna be more of a show truck. We want it to look good. So we hooked up with our friends at Chevs of the 40s. Now they have everything you need for Chevys back from 37 to 54. And when I say everything,
they have over 800,000 parts. Oh yeah, so you can find just about anything you need.
all right. Now, anything you need, give the guys at Chevs of the 40s a call, because they've been doing this for a really long time. I mean, 32 years so far. They know everything about these old trucks and cars and Chevy.
That's gonna pop, man.
So, yeah.
Bring that bumper over here. Let's just hang it up here and take a look.
Let's check it out.
Dude.
So the new chrome bumper to go with it.
Flossy, flossy.
For more information about anything you've seen in today's show, check out mavtv.com or visit our website at TwoGuysGarage.com. This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by Woodward Fab, quality metalworking equipment since 1966. And Seatbelt Solutions, the safest seatbelt money can buy.
All right, welcome back. Now, just getting a step plate put on a running board. Again, another accessory from Chevs of the 40s. I'm gonna go back here and hang this rear bumper. And Kev, what are you, playing stereo in there? Playing DJ?
That's right, man, that's right. This thing was gonna look pretty good. Now, we didn't want to put a modern stereo in here, and we definitely didn't want to cut the dash up. So we found a really cool, old school looking stereo unit that we can put in here, and that's gonna mount up like that. And I'll show you this thing, because we're gonna get more than just AM radio out of it. Now, the front may look old school, but if you look really close, You got your menu buttons, your modes, so there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. So if you kick around to the back side, this is from Custom Auto Sound. This is a 300-watt modern stereo system. It comes with a USB port and a docking for an iPod, but it's also compatible with Bluetooth and a 6-disc changer, which we're both going to put in the car too. So with that in there, we're routing our speakers. You can do just a 6x9 single speaker, kind of like in the old days, but we're going to upgrade that too. So we've got a System 1 setup here. You got satellite speakers. You can put these anywhere you want, and they look kind of old school, like an old AC register. You can mount them in here and aim them how we like, but more than just some little small speakers. We're adding also with the system, we've got a fully amplified sub that's going to go under the seat, right along with our 6-disc changer. So this is going to get wired up. The one thing you got to make sure is if you've got a 6-volt system and a 12-volt stereo, you need to put a transformer in it and hop it up. So let me finish this, get it all wired up so we'll have that nice sound for that next 1,100-mile trip. Come on, man, polish that thing up.
I'm getting it, man.
Look at that. Looks nice, huh?
Yeah, man.
Nice little pop we added to the whole truck. You know, it's just a lot of...
Yeah, man, you know, it's funny to see what they were doing in 1949 to, let's say, the mid-80s, 90s, to what they're doing now as far as technology and some of the vehicles.
Yeah, what's impressive, though, is some of the same names that you've seen, you know, in the 40s, 75 years ago, keeping up with the technology, because you know it's not easy.
Right, man. So we put a little pop on the outside, you put a stereo on the inside. Get my Miley Cyrus CD in there?
I got your Miley Cyrus CD.
All right, because I'm hitting the road, bro. I'm on the road like a wrecking ball. I'm joining the race team, you know, the Federated Kenny Schrader race team, bro. It's me.
Yeah, you know what you're going to be doing on that race team?
Yeah,
you're going to take this truck and you're going to get a bunch of old tires and you're going to dispose them somewhere.
You keep talking, man. You keep talking. I'll be driving.
Keep dreaming. But we're out of time. Obviously, he's out of here, so we'll see you next time.